Let's continue our example on list data structure. So let's say if I have created a string in a variable called as mail here. So you can notice here that I have put like, hi tech love, you are doing an awesome job, keep it up. So this is an email which I have brought it here. As we were talking about in the first lecture of list also, when I was telling you that these two are used interchangeably. So here, if I say mail dot split, so this mail is my variable, dot split is a function which is going to split each word, and the delimiter by default is going to be space. If I want to keep some other delimiter, let's say if I had a delimiter semicolon, so instead of keeping it at blank, I could have just said here semicolon. So that way we can just define what is the delimiter we want in my kind of list. So here I will say split and I say print of words. You will notice that every word here is going to be splitted in that case. So let me execute first this. Now, sorry. So let me execute this. And now if I execute mail.split, you can see that every word got splitted with respect to space delimiter. Similarly, as I said that if I want, let's say this time I want to make more sense out of my mail. And what I want to do is maybe I want to see that, okay, this is first line. I want to keep this first line and this is second line. So I want to separate out my sentences. Now, how my sentences are generally separated with a full stop. Right? We generally have this sort of full stop which denotes that I'm going to the next sentence. So I can put in my split function this delimiter, and in that case you will notice that it will create two statements for me, one statement before full stop and one after full stop. Let's see this. So if I come here and execute this code, you will notice that it is creating two elements of this list. So if you remember last time I created like every one separately. So there are so many elements. Each word was becoming an element of my list. But here each sentence is becoming a part of my list, right? So that's what it have done to basically get this. Now, if I want to join these statements, maybe I want to create a string now back from a particular list, I can do that with the help of this join statement. So I'm just saying that, okay, just join these two and create a new mail variable for me. Let's see what it's gonna do for me. So this sentences in email, I'm just gonna join it. So you can notice that I'm using a double space. I could have used triple space just to show you that, see how this list get created. So what it is going to do, it is going to now join basically with respect to these two elements. So this element, and since I have given this three spaces, so whatever delimiter I will give with respect to that, it is going to split. I could have put a dot, means full stop. So that would have then split with respect to dot, and it would have created my original email what I had here, right? So this is just to give you an example that you can even change your delimiters as per your wish. Now, further to this, let's say if I have created a list here, let's say called as techlove, I'm just keeping one value in it, let's say. And if I multiply it by 6, now you must be wondering that this is a string value, this is techlove is a string value. How can I multiply a string with some numeric value? So here it works little differently. What it do when you say 6, it means that create techlove 6 times. Okay, so this is what it's going to do for me. So it is going to create here techlove 6 times for me. It's going to print it up. Let's see. So you can see that it's going to print it up. Similarly, if I do an addition, now again you might be wondering what do you mean by addition of two strings. It's just like a concatenation what's going to happen. So you can see that it's going to create two values techlove techlove. So it just added and concatenated them. You can also count how many elements are going into a list, are present into a list. And the way you can do that is with the help of length operation, length function, which is denoted as len. So we can do it with the help of len function, and this will return me basically the length, which is 6, because 2, 6, 9, 3, 2, 10, just have 10 values, 6 values, sorry. Now, similarly, this is interesting. Let's see what this gonna do for me. So in case if I am using, because till now what we were doing was that we were just saying, okay, 1 colon 4. So I was saying in that case, it is mainly running from the starting index 1 till 4 minus 1, right? So it is going till 1 to 3. But what does this 2 colons mean here? Now, if you look at this, definitely this 1 is means that starting from index 1. Okay, 1 means starting from index 1. That's the reason we are saying this 6. But if I'm using this 2 colons, this basically means that skip one value after that, and every second value after this just keep on printing. So for example, here it is going to print 3 for me, and after that again skip this and print this for me. So it's going to print me 6, 3, 10. Right? So that's the reason you are getting this output. So this basically is having a different meaning itself when we are using like 2 colons being present here. Now, if I want to assign some value in a list, for example, here you can see that I'm saying that in my nums, I'm assigning in the second index some value. So my nums used to have like 2, 6, 9, 3, 2, 10, but now at the index 2, I want to assign this value, this exclamation marks. You can see this here. So at the index 2, it is now placing this value. It has basically replaced my value 9 with this new value. So I can basically do this sort of mutations in my list as well. Similarly, there are some more interesting functions available in list like sorted. It's, as you can make out, it's going to sort out my list. So here I have basically done some mistake. So unordered type string is less than, okay. The reason it is not working because I have put basically a string here. So let me just fix it quickly. So instead of doing this, let me just keep up my original value. So this was my original list. So let me bring it here. And now if I do a sorted of this, you can notice that it worked. So you can make out by the error messages also that what this have done, because there was a string middle. So I don't know how to sort it up. And that's the reason you got that error. Similarly, you have a max function, which is going to return you the maximum value of any list. We have a min function, which is going to return you the minimum value of a list. And you can also create a composite list. And now this is interesting. So if you look at this part, this is a composite list. I have this as one list within a list. This is second list in a list. This is third list in a list. So this is going to be 0th index. This is the first index. This is the second index. So if I say n of 1, that means it is going to return me 5, 6, 7. Okay, because now it's a nested list. Let's execute this first. So if I say this, this is going to return me 5, 6, 7. Now let's say I want to print the only 2. Okay, from here too. So how we can do it? Let's kind of evaluate that. So first of all, if I want to get this 2, that means I'm talking about the 0th index of this, right? Now, when I got this 0th index, within that 0th index, this 2 is sitting at the first index. That's the reason we are saying 0, 1. This is going to return me exactly 2. So this is the way you can also get your output from this list. Okay. So this consists of your list part.